Hey everybody. So, it's a really nice day. I just got my new glasses, so I thought I'd go out and see what the woods look like when I can actually see. The last pair of glasses I got were actually worse than the old ones that I, lost. For whatever reason, the prescription must have been off or something. And these ones are significantly better. So now I can actually, instead of tracking motion when a bird flies or a squirrel moves, I might actually be able to see them. So that's kind of exciting. Still some snow on the ground. It's pretty nice though. I forgot to charge my camera, just noticed, that's great. It's got about half a battery and this should be a relatively short one. So I thought today would be a good day to get a little bit to drink, because I haven't really drank in a little while. It's been a little, not really drank. I had 2 beer the other night, but I don't really consider that drinking. That was just something to do to take the edge off. It was a nice change from water. But decided to come out here. I wanted to shoot a little walk and talk. I want to talk about YouTube and other YouTubers. Not really anybody in specific. I mean, if you watch enough YouTube, you'll know who I'm talking about. So yeah. So I thought initially my Shattered Relics videos would rake me in more subscribers and stuff, but it didn't. And the reason I thought it would was because I didn't do the by the books textbook method of getting everything unlocked in 10 seconds or less. And I actually played the game like a normal player. And I thought that might draw some attention. But the market, so to speak, the platform, is so flooded with Shattered Relics leagues from people that have, hundreds of thousands to millions of subscribers that my videos probably don't even get posted whenever it's searched. So that's a bit daunting, but it is what it is. Like I said, I ain't doing this to be famous anyway. But I wanted to talk about some stuff that gets posted on my thing, like things you should watch. So I get probably 5 to 10 lockpicking guide things on my channel, right? On my page. I don't think I looked up a lockpicking video in like over 3 years. And I just keep getting plastered with them. And it's really kind of annoying because, not that I don't have interest in it, it's not really something you can watch, You can learn some tips and tricks, but it's a skill you have to learn yourself. I have picked a lock or two in my day, but I'm by no means a locksmith, I'll tell you that right now. It took me a lot of time, and it's definitely an acquired skill. That it just bothers me that stuff like that gets plastered on my wall, because I have very little interest in actually watching it. Another thing that gets on my nerves is I keep getting these things on my channel, on my page, about, oh, I'm wood turning nails, or I'm wood turning colored pencils, or I'm wood turning bars of soap or something. And the truth is it's all a bunch of bullshit. because what they're doing is wood turning, some nails with like 75% epoxy. So they're wood turning epoxy with nails in it. They're wood turning epoxy with, whatever in it. If I had a lathe, or I made a lathe, and I ordered like $10 worth of those there crappy unusable diamonds. Like, you can get diamonds real cheap when they're like real super small and flawed. They sell them super cheap. So I could make a lathe, get about 2 cups of epoxy and a 1/4 cup of diamonds, and say, hey, look at me, I'm wood turning one of the hardest substances in the world. And the truth of the matter is, I'm wood turning epoxy. So it just irritates me. It really does, because I'm like, that is the biggest sham I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's like, dude has like a couple 100,000 subscribers, or maybe he's in the millions. I never even checked, because it's just, I try not to watch stuff that's completely and utterly bogus. It's just the principle behind it, I guess, you know? The bee's nest is still there. You know, I don't think they're working today. I might actually cut down through. We'll see when I get to the other side if I see any movement. But I haven't seen or heard anything since I've been down here. I was gonna go the really, really long way, but with the weather being the way it is, I've been kind of lazy, and I have very little doubt in my mind that I could, you know, I would make it. I would definitely make it. I just think by the time I got 2/3 of the way there, it'll feel more like torture than a fun little walking session. So we'll see how that turns out. Like I said, if I don't see any movement down there, we're still pretty early. I might cut through. But yeah, just stuff like that kind of bothers me. Like, my videos, though they're not the best quality, but I am a one-man team here, you know. They're not the best quality in the world. But they get completely drowned out by so many other people that have all these subscribers and stuff, real or fake. I'm not calling that into question. I have no proof, don't know. I could speculate, but speculation doesn't mean much. Actually, it probably wouldn't even mean much if I could prove it. But you get my point. And it's like 20 of the big YouTubers that did Shattered Relics League all kind of did the same thing. Like, their basic outline was exactly the same. And it was a little bit, I don't know, it was just annoying, because there's like all this content being plastered, and it's all the same thing, just with different people. And it's just, it's like, yeah, I get it, you know, being number one in a video game, hoorah, but, like, not only does it ruin it for the viewers, it can't be fun. Like, it can't be fun to do some of the things they do, unless they have somebody else do it. So, I don't know. Kinda, like I do, I've lost my train of thought for the most part. I don't really know what to talk about. Like, overall, I don't have very many real life grievances. That isn't a repeat of previous grievances. I don't have any big new problems. Like, you know, I got the whole grandma thing that is weird, and I got the whole probation thing that's weird. But I mean, I don't really know what to say about it besides the fact that it exists and I have to deal with it. You know, it just is what it is, you know. I can talk about it, I can complain about it, I can go into detail about it, but I can't resolve it. You guys can't resolve it. I don't know anybody that can resolve it. So I try not to dwell on it too much. One of my newest things have been like, you know, I'm just gonna do the best I got with what I have, you know, do the best I can with what I got. And that's kinda how I always live my life, in a sense. I always have the slight strive to be better, the slight strive to want to progress and better myself, better my life. But it got to the point where it's like, as long as I'm here, I don't see much of anything getting better. And there's no reasonable way to leave, as I said before. So, what am I going to do about it? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I'll do what I've always done. Make the best of what I got, When I did the whole homeless thing, I probably had about, I don't know, maybe $100, maybe. And I used to go and get the day-old cheapo donuts, and that would be like my meal for the day. And it would be like super cheap. Probably not the smartest or healthiest decision, but it would just be like kind of a pick-me-up, Some people like drugs. I went for donuts. They're probably equally as healthy, depending on what road you're going down. So, I mean, I've been in a lot of situations that are good and bad, and I've always kind of, there's no way I'm saying I'm coming out on top. Like, there's no way any of this is progress, any of this is better. Like, I'd say throughout my life, I've had a couple things that were better, but ultimately, most of the life changes weren't good or bad. They were just different. Different place, different friends, different people, different atmosphere, different problem. But their intensity has mostly been the same. Like, there have been situations that were far more stressful than they needed to be, and there's been situations that were far better than I'd ever expect. But ultimately, my life's been pretty stagnant, Different places, different people, different scenery, different things. My base needs taken care of, but the problems, or the things I don't like and want to improve upon change, but they're equally detrimental to my overall goal. Like, I was just talking to the kid at the place I buy my alcohol, and he was like, I said, I thought you got fired. And he's like, I just came in for a couple of hours because they were lacking people. And I was like, well, if your boss would hire me, then, they wouldn't be lacking people. Then I go on to say that, it's like a double-edged sword. Like, not having a job is great. I don't have anybody to answer to. I don't have anything restricting my schedule for the most part. But it's bad because I don't have a way out. I don't have a way to make money, not consistently. I don't have a way to be better without actually having a steady income. So, it's like, yeah, it's great. I make some money here and there and grab some beer, maybe go shoot some pool. It works out. I would say content, or reasonable, I guess, having things to do. But without having a job, without having that schedule restriction, without working for real substantial amounts of money, I'll never make it out, And I can't make somebody hire me. And there's no way I'm going to be self-employed. And even if by some random chance my YouTube channel would take off, it's not like I'd really make a lot of money off of it. I'm not nearly professional enough. I'm not nearly dedicated enough. I don't pump out content in a sense that I could see really making a financial difference. And if it did, it'd be very small. Which, wouldn't be a bad thing. Like, when I was looking through the settings and stuff, I was kind of considering checking out getting monetized and whatnot. And I was like, I just have a big feeling that if I go down that road, if it were to work, it's going to change how I do things. And it's going to be, peanuts. Like, I'll be making more money cutting grass in the summer. So, I ultimately decided against it, because I was like, I like the way I do videos. Yeah, I could get a better camera. Yeah, I could get somebody that knows how to edit, or I could learn more or better. But ultimately, my content, what I do, what I talk about, how I do it, how I talk about it, I think is pretty on point for what I want in the world, I try to be pretty coherent, pretty straightforward. I try to declare my thoughts off the top of my head without it being scripted and still not sound like a complete moron. And I think I achieve that most of the time. So that's pretty, that's kind of what I don't want to be, I don't want to be scripted. I don't want to be told what to say or feel that I have to say things a certain way to appease people or get the algorithm boost or whatever. I don't want to, do that kind of stuff. I want to say what I mean and how I feel about things around me without having somebody tell me, you can't say that, you can't do that. Why? Most of the things I talk about are real life problems. Most of the things I discuss are real life things that should be addressed, should be changed, should be at the very least contemplated. And having to change the way I say it or do it would change the overall message. And that's not what I'm going for. This is depressing. This is BS. This is not right. And I'm not gonna be a cheery, chipper, smile from ear to ear, over escalating words to try to convey a message without having the feeling behind it. I think the way I feel about things, the way I address situations, I think are pretty on point. Nothing in my life at this moment is so horrible that I'm going to be breaking down crying or going on a murder spree. But things are bad enough that I have real good reason not to be satisfied or happy. So I want to convey that. I want to convey that. I'm not gonna, I haven't really thought about plunging off a bridge in a little while. I mean, I might joke about it, but I haven't really considered it in a little while. And I think that's more coming from, I already realized what I lost, I realize I'm not getting it back, and I realize a level of complacency with it. So my emotions stabilized in that sense. That, this is life. This is facts. Life's not fair. Get the f*** over it, So I kind of, that's one thing about my personality. I've always been moderately easy for me to adjust to most things if they happen gradually enough. When my pap passed away, it barely affected me at all. And he's probably one of the people that I cared about most in the world. And I think the reason that it didn't affect me, same as when my father passed, I think the reason it didn't affect me was there was a time of separation. And when I did go back, not with my father, I never seen him after he died, obviously, I never seen him in the gap between when I left and when he passed away. But with my grandfather, when I did go back, it was more like talking to a shell of a man that he used to be. It was more like babysitting than than having that grandfather-grandson connection that it was. I'm not going to say it didn't affect me. It wasn't nearly as bad as if I was like 14 and he got hit by a car, I probably would have dove off a bridge. No joke. But after him suffering for so long and him barely even, knowing what's going on around him, it's like he wasn't even the same person. So it was dramatically easier to cope with it. And I'm not really any stranger to loss. So I don't do funerals. I don't like the way they make me feel. My emotions betray me, because seeing somebody that has passed away makes me feel sad. But for the most part, I should be happy, because at least they're not drudging through this shell of a world that society has sculpted. They very well might be in a better place. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's like you guys believing in God. To me, having the false hope that they're in a better place keeps the impact from being as bad as, seeing them actually laying there dead. Having the thought that I'm never going to see them again, but, they're on my grandfather has $1 million on his private cruise ship, casino slot machine, big game hunting in Africa when he feels like it, is a lot better than thinking of them being in a hole in the ground, or never seeing them again. Instead of never seeing them again, they're off living their life, or past life, I guess, depending on your viewpoint. And it kind of cushions the blow, and it's probably more than likely false hope. More than likely, it's just another one of those things that my mind has constructed to ease the blow, or ease the tension or emotional trauma of actually losing somebody you care about. It's easier to think that way. I may have mentioned this before, which I more than likely have. Is that a car? I'm not turning around now. I more than likely mentioned it before, but I'm a pretty firm believer in reincarnation. But I kind of hope that's not the fact. Because, unless I'm born part of this here society sculpting superpower that's, destroying the world for people like me, it's not really, or I'm born into a position where I can help people. It's just going to be another round of torture. And, it's just not something I'm too interested in. I kind of wonder sometimes if we're all like machines, and whenever we metaphorically die, we're actually just carted off somewhere, or reprogrammed, or dealt damage in a way to change how we were in the previous life, block out our memories. Oh well, now I'm getting all crazy and whatnot, so I'm gonna go. I think that's long enough. It's probably quite a long video, and my battery was already at half. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this other nonsensical, over the top, what's the word? I can't think of the word of like somebody that looks down on everything. Pessimistic view of things around me. But feel free to comment if anyone ever watches this. Give me your thoughts. Tell me how stupid I am. Tell me that life is precious, and you should treasure every second, because it's all you have. Give me one of those there Confucius say grandma stories where I'm like, yeah, because this is what your metaphorical God wants. This is how the creator of this world wants people to live. I don't think so. Later on.